Well, of course, the regime has different opposition factions against it. It's very important for us to keep in mind that we do not want to replace an existing theocracy with another variant of that. So, Iranian students and really the greater movement as a whole has been clear that they saw the 1979 revolution as a mistake. And any entity that contributed to that continues to be resented by the average Iranian. And MEK is one of those entities. So, any organization that has a hybrid Marxist and Islamist ideology is debatable whether it's going to be beneficial for Iran or the greater region as a whole. Having grown up in Iran and having been involved in protest movement, I can tell you really the mindset that is increasingly revolutionary is looking at the past for its future. They're looking at the crown prince as a springboard, at least in an intermediary term, just to avoid a power vacuum. So that's really where the mindset is headed. You have different factions, like we said, MEK, you have different separatist groups, not because simply objecting to the Islamic Republic does not guarantee that any entity is going to be benevolent or is going to be helpful for the region. MEK is one of that. But that said, again, none of this information has been really verified. And when you look at the masses of protesters that came out, they chanted Pahlavi's name, and we saw the 1979 flag. There was no really mention of this particular group.
I mean, I guess my question for you is how significant is this attempted attack, and what does it say about the current threat level inside Iran? I mean, how many opposition groups, how much internal unrest is this Islamic regime facing right now?
Well, if you want to look at it from that angle, we can really look at deeply what's happening within the regime itself. The fact that there are certain factions comfortable claiming that they've attacked the supreme leader's compound in itself does indicate that the situation might be crumbling. I think a better angle of really assessing this is within the institutions of the regime. There's increasingly acts of course, civil disobedience, but more importantly, disobeying orders, which is the first really step prior to getting defections. So if you look at that, and if you look at how Israel was able to penetrate this intelligence and security apparatus, it tells us that there is discontent within the system, there's rivalries within the system, and it's not entirely accurate for us to portray the Islamic regime as one major entity. There are different pillars, they compete against each other, and that should be what the United States should be capitalizing on to, of course, pursue defections. I know the CIA put out a statement calling on more of these people to share intelligence. So really, it comes down to how we're going to leverage these rivalries within the system. But of course, we know for a fact the mindset on the street is revolutionary. Khamenei is only the first step to that. So to the Iranian public, Khamenei's death will not even be enough. It's about really a systemic change.